soul-stealing magi.
Flesh-eating creeps.
Yeah, it's just another day at the office for the Madhouse. My werewolf partner and I attempt to keep the peace without being torn to pieces. Weep at the wonder.
Howl at the horror.
And keep the light on. It's gonna get dark. This is the 100-Handed.
Lost Souls. Episode 11. Major Malfunction.
What happened then?
The gravecaller used some sort of healing salve on the injury. Patched her right up. The psychomancer, she took Michael's mind. I watched her pull it out of Michael's body as he was restrained by the reanimated corpses.
So he's not dead. Damn it! If someone had just checked his body with psych speak, we'd have known his mind was still out there. We could have been on this months ago. I'm gonna wring the Inkling's neck who failed to do that.
This changes everything. Are you sure?
I've no doubt in my mind. After Maya took Michael's psyche, she turned her attention to me. She began chanting, placed her fingers on Scout's head. I felt my mind being ripped away. I fought back, trying to withdraw. I suppose that's what put me out. It was like my mind was being torn in two. I don't know what happened after that.
A parking attendant found you in your vehicle in the parking garage that the two of you had been staked out in. They noticed you laying there. Then when they came back a few hours later, you hadn't moved. The attendant called EMS. We took measures to recover you.
You said Michael's Imagomancy failed, that it fizzled out somehow. I've been on countless missions with him. He's never faltered, once. Others, sure, but not him. What happened?
I don't know. It couldn't have been either of the Magi. I was watching them. They made no moves. It was like something had bit him or stung him. But there wasn't anything there.
But he's alive.
We don't know that. For all we know, the psychomancer has already dusted his mind.
You don't know that, Vasquez.
Of course I don't know that, which is why we're going to get him back.
This is all too much. I need to think. Drafted Thomas Lilly. Thank you for telling me.
Sure thing, Wexler. Is there anything else you need from me, Engraved?
Yes, I'd like to inquire a bit more about this Callaway key and Maya. Please, Lily. Sit.
I know you've come back, Magi. Show yourself. Good to see you in fine health.
You did quite a number on me back at sundown. It's only been with the help of a friend that I've gotten the feeling back in my leg.
If I'd have known you'd talk this much, I'd have cut out your tongue.
My, still living in the past? It's been, 6 months?
I can't say that I've been checking my Outlook calendar.
Funny. Do you know why I've come?
Something tells me it's not to install Wi-Fi.
Afraid not. It's time for another round.
The box, again?
Bored of it? This box has broken countless minds in here. Well, not countless. Otherwise, we'd have what we need for the Atlas. Let's just say you aren't the first person to enjoy its many sensations.
The Atlas?
The Atlas Infinitus, a map that can aid the user in locating, well, just about anything. We're very close to it, but you don't have to worry about that. We have other uses for you. Let's see. How do you feel about scorpions today, Imagomancer?
We had scorpions on Tuesday.
Very funny. I must say I'll be quite thrilled to watch the last hint of humor drain from your eyes. Because you know what replaces it? Nothing. No putting the light back into that bulb. That's for certain. Irons. Yes, let's do hot irons. What's great about this is that there's really no limit to the damage I can inflict upon your mind. I can make the iron coil around you, if I so wish. Around every inch of you.
Do your goddamn worst.
Wait.
What are you doing?
You just gave me an idea. Why didn't I think of it before? Do your worst. I have been. That's the thing. For the last half a year, I've been doing my worst to you, and yet you won't fucking budge.
What are you talking about?
I think I've been going about this all wrong.
I don't understand.
Oh, no, you don't. But you don't need to understand. You know what the great thing about this Mind Forge is? It allows me to impose on a subjective consciousness. I can do whatever I want. In the Mind Forge, I am your god. But I've been thinking too much like an old god. You know, fire and brimstone, hellish torture, chamber, blah, blah, blah. Boring. You know what people fear about going to hell?
I don't see where this is going.
They fear agony beyond belief for an unfathomably long time. Eternal conscious torment. Being on the receiving end with no means of stopping it. That's the little game we've been playing. Our own little imitation of God and the unrepentant sinner.
You get used to it.
Exactly. You got used to it. But you getting used to it is utterly useless to me. So I've got something else in mind. Something else you can't get used to. I'll be back in a little bit, Michael Washington. Well, a little bit for me. For you, not so much.
Wait, where are you going? She's insane. Here we go again. Another boring torture session. This looks like your standard fare dungeon. Chains, torture tools. Is Maya just going to the open source for sadistic magi layers? Who is it? Show yourself. Hurry up and let's get this over with.
This won't be over anytime soon.
Wexler?
Oh, yes.
No, it isn't. This is a trick. I was just talking to Maya not even a minute ago.
Of course it's a trick. Part of you knows that. The rational part. The part that solves problems and separates this from that. But that's not all we are. And you know that. There's another part to us. The part that still shivers when it sees a flitting shadow at night. The part of our ancestral mind that fear and fantasy burrow into like worms into a corpse. That part of you believes that this is me. That's all that matters. Not what you think you believe.
How? Why now?
Despite your noble efforts at resistance, Maya's prolonged interrogation of your mind has been chipping away at your will, bit by bit. You've proven remarkable, Michael. Everyone else would have broken 10 times over by now. But not you.
Whatever Ramsey Bolton game you think will get me to crack, it won't work.
Perhaps.
What are you doing?
Letting you go.
I don't believe you.
See? Free to go.
Move. Something's not right about this. You've got all these implements of brutality laying around. Let's see. There's no door out.
That's right.
What are you going to do with that?
My work.
Easy, goddammit!
You're still quick.
You've still got a long way to go. Michael, that's not Wexler. Don't be fooled.
Hold still.
This would be a lot easier for you if you hadn't let me go. Ah!
Now you're getting it.
Cut it out!
Make me.
Got you, bastard! Stay down.
I won't stop.
Ah! Back, damn you! The implement table. Stay back, Evan.
I'm not Evan Wexler, remember? Beat me with that mallet, Michael. Beat my fucking brains out.
Right. Bring it.
Sure thing.
Die, damn you! Wexler. Evan. Oh, God. I can't believe I killed him. I feel sick. It wasn't him. It wasn't him. It was just a trick. Wexler isn't like that. Evan isn't like that. I don't understand. What was that all about?
You'll understand. In time.
Impossible.
Nothing's impossible in here. Imagomancer. This is my playground. We're just getting started.
I won't do that again.
Then you'll suffer until you decide you no longer want to. The pain stops when you want it to. For a little while at least. All you have to do is kill me. Again. And again. And again. Dust yourself off, Imagomancer. We'll be here for a while.
We left Solomon's parlor, cutting through the winding passages of the Madhouse. Solomon led the way, followed by myself and the recently tattooed Lily Thomas. Excitement coursed through my veins. Even though most of the Madhouse clearly didn't care for me, I began combing through its mysteries with an obsessiveness. Perhaps it was a coping mechanism, but I didn't mind. I'd been thrust into the world of the extra mundane by my mother, then pulled directly into the Madhouse's orbit by Wexler. Some of that entailed exploring every part of Madhouse that I could get my mutated little paws on.
Maybe it was too soon to do a draft. My connection to the center is unstable, to say the least.
You pulled through. Gotta get back on the bike sometime.
Here we are. The elevator.
Why can I practically hear the capital E when you say that?
Because it is no ordinary elevator. This is the elevator. If you've been wandering the Madhouse halls for long, you may have noticed that it's not exactly in accordance with geometry.
You're talking about because it's larger on the inside than the outside?
One of the less bizarre features of this building. The halls can wind round themselves in ways that don't exactly make sense, even to me.
Bizarre. I thought that you knew everything about...
About?
I don't know. The magical and supernatural?
There are mysteries even beyond my ken, Veronica.
Now that you mention it, I have wondered about the logistics of some of this stuff.
How do you mean?
Well, take like any of those YA fantasy novels, Harry Potter or Narnia or whatever. You have magic that coexists with the quote-unquote real world, and yet most of the normals or civilians or muggles or whatever you want to call them have no idea that it's there. How does it all stay operational and unnoticed? Wexler mentioned something about the mind of the average flock member being unwilling to comprehend the workings of the gloom, but that doesn't seem like it would be the whole story.
I remember Engraved Washington mentioning that certain engraved are tasked with flock-madhouse relations. He said that we've got at least a few senators in the Southwest in our pockets. There are other organizations dedicated to investigating the extraordinary, and they have their own means of keeping things under wraps.
Which floor?
First floor.
The war between the glimmer and the gloom was hard to conceal in ages past. The human mind was quite amenable to the collision of the forces of light and dark.
So what happened?
Hard to say. History is divided into discrete categories in textbooks only. The actual drama of events is far messier. But from what I saw, I'd say it was around the mid-1500s.
That's oddly specific.
That's the beginning of the scientific revolution.
Yes, in so many ways I am grateful for the revolution and the subsequent age of reason. Life was much more hectic when everyone was attempting to call upon forces beyond their ken so that they could curse an enemy or charm a woman into bed. After the age of reason set in, mankind began to look to the laws of nature for solutions. Slowly they boxed in their imagination. Not because they meant to, but what's a vision of magic compared to a bullet or a steam engine? Not everyone was taken by these solutions.
Well, obviously, the creeps didn't care much because they still had to satiate their appetites. And the Magi probably didn't care because who gives a shit about how many widgets you can collect when there's an entire dimension to explore that isn't tied to technology? Well, that we know of, at least.
Indeed. Though I fear the easy ride given to us by the Enlightenment is coming to a close.
Why's that?
Ezra and I keep tabs on the movements of culture. The New Agers, the occultists, neo-pagans, archaic revivalists, seeking the lost days of plant medicines. Solutions offered to us by various material-oriented ideologies are failing to satisfy. Science has become utterly baffling to the layperson. Have you tried understanding quantum mechanics? You can't even properly convey its meaning in analogy. The math and physics are too complex. We have so many more people now. You humans are running on our archaic hardware, and the universe grows increasingly complicated with each new discovery. And it's only a matter of time before more and more uncover the secrets of the gloom.
Holy shit.
Holy shit, indeed. We will have our work cut out for the coming decades. That's enough conjecture for now. Let us see how those tattoos fare on you, drafted Lily.
Sounds good to me.
Matter and Mind Proving Grounds took up the eastern wing of the first floor of the Madhouse. Despite the organization taking their namesake after an abandoned asylum, the Imagomancers had long since retrofitted this particular wing so that it resembled a quasi-military compound.
It's Lily and Solomon and the new girl.
Why do we gaze into the abyss?
To poke out its eye and hear it hiss?
What was that all about?
Precaution. Just to make sure I am who I say I am.
It's sort of obvious.
It's obvious and taken for granted until a face snatcher disguises themselves as an Imagomancer and slaughters 5 inklings. After something like that happens, you step up security protocols, even if they're silly call and response rhymes that change every day. Sorry, I thought Vasquez might have told you that story. She tells anyone after a few shots. I've seen her tell some unlucky souls after just 1 beer.
What if the creep just guesses?
1 strike rule. Fuck up the protocol even once and you're subdued and thrown into isolation until Solomon or an engraved can verify your identity. Here's an empty practice room.
For a bunch of magicians, the lot of you sure do have quite the reliance on technology.
If you can solve problems using more mundane means, why not? Channeling the gloom and the glimmer takes quite the effort. No need to warm a house with a forest fire, when a heater will do just fine.
Where are the lights? There. You haven't been here before, have you, V?
Nope.
Get a load of this.
No fucking way! Look at all those weapons!
This is one of our training rooms. Tons of melee weapons. All non-lethal, of course. Can't have the inklings decapitating one another. Well, anymore. Here, catch!
A wooden katana? Very Kurosawa. En garde, Solomon.
We desist these crass mannerisms.
Defend your honor!
This is uncouth.
I'm just messing with you, Solo. Lily, you all right?
Yes. Sorry, I was just reminiscing. I spent a lot of time in these training rooms as an inkling. Always wanted to hone my martial skills. I had to make sure I was tough enough.
We'll find the bastards that took Michael.
Right. Thanks. Anyway, I should probably give this a shot, huh? 6 months without using Imagomancy? I'm bound to be a little rusty.
What tattoo are you using?
Mattermove. Pretty straightforward. Spoon-bending telekinesis.
People?
When a will is involved, matters get way more complicated.
Someone used an Imagomantic tattoo to dominate the minds of some cops when Wexler was in trouble in Redsboro.
Sure, but I'd bet it required a tattoo dedicated solely to suggestion, and I doubled down and go so far to guess it had to be burned. With this, moving medium-sized objects is hard enough without trying to move a human body. You'd need limb lock or something special. Okay, here goes. I'm going to try to lift those nunchucks over there.
I can't believe y'all train with nunchucks.
Matter. Mind my mind. Move!
Very cool, Solomon. Are you sure I can't get tattoos? I'd rather have that Jedi Force power thingy than, well, this horrific werewolf hybrid freak I've become.
I I could. If you want the gloom in your body and mind to violently tear you into so many pieces that Humpty Dumpty will seem well put together by comparison.
Was that a pop culture reference you just made?
No.
Score 1 for the shit-talking werewolf. I'm rubbing off on you, Salo. Whoa, what's up with this sword? It's vibrating. Lily, is this you?
No, I'm not. I don't think.
Whoa! Easy, Lily. Just drop the flying katana.
I'm not doing this.
Mattermove tattoo is malfunctioning.
Look out!
That was close. At least they aren't, well, sharp. And I spoke too soon. Those jagged edges can tear somebody's throat out.
Calm down, Lily. Regain your focus.
Not working. Oh no! Oh no!
Shit, Solomon! Solo, you alright?
Yes. Something's gone terribly wrong with the tattoo.
Any ideas?
I'm thinking.
I didn't mean to do that!
Think faster, Solo, or she's gonna bring a rope down on us.
One of the quickest ways to short out an Imagomantic tattoo is to diminish the link between the tattoo and the Imagomancer's conscious mind.
Did you just seriously use a paragraph to tell me knock her out?
Just do it.
Stay down! I'll get this! Ugh. Oh! Fuck my life! That looks way easier in movies. I think I just broke my hand. Oh, I'm really sorry about this, Lily.
I can't get it under control. Just give me a moment.
No can do.
Oof.
You know, I have some serious qualms about knocking out a woman who's just spent 6 months in a coma.
I don't understand. Length of our stay in the center of soul caused this reaction. Or was it the psyches we used to draw her out?
I don't know. I'll leave that to you, Jimmy Neutron. I think we should get her back to your parlor. Ugh. The adrenaline's wearing off, and I can feel every broken bone in my arm. You better have something to fix this, or next time I'm letting her bury your King Tut-looking ass. The Hundred-Handed is a Madhouse radio production, created and written by Tom Trest, directed by Brooke Pillafont, original score by Drew Griffith and Ian Flores, sound engineering by Tom Trest, featuring the voice of Stephen Cruiser as Michael Washington, Gage Richter as Evan Wexler, Brooke Pillafont as V, Cynthia Cruiser as Solomon, Dana Williams as Vasquez, Deanna Lalich as Lily Thomas, and Kimberly Gates as Maya,